Alrighty. Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic. That's known classics. This is episode number 2442 and Doubleshot number 2336. Now we have a Thor trade and an Iron Man trade. Now I did kind of mention this last. That's what I'm talking about these two series. Is that for Thor Volume 2, first time in quite a while, I actually have, or probably the second time since I've reviewing this volume, I'm actually reviewing a physical trade. Now, here's the thing. The trade that comes after this, I've actually read already. But this is the trade before that. We have Thor, Lord of Asgard, by Dan Jurgens, along with Jose A.P. Armia, with art by Stuart Immonen, Tom Rooney, Joe Bennett, and Dion Nichols. This book collects issues 44 to 50 of Volume 2 for the series. Yep. Mostly put, basically, it's a couple different things going on here. One, of course, basically deals with focus on Thor Girl, where she's just doing her own. She's basically, first, she's like, save people, gets criticized for nearly blowing up a bank, and then she's attacked by the Great Gargoyle. Yes, long time villain, Great Gargoyle. And then she's in the stone, and then she's smashed. Jake Olsen really wants his power back as Thor. Yep. Because apparently this is the duplicate Jake Olsen, not the original one. Yeah, this is the one that's got Thor's memory, so he basically touches a mirror, and he gets his powers back to fight Great Gargoyle. Meanwhile, though, the real Thor is basically being the monarch of Asgard and having Amora, the Enchantress, as his lover. Yes, because apparently they decided to continue this plot. My guess is Jurgens decided either this is something he wanted to do with the Enchantress, or this something was suggested by Marvel editorial for him. Because prior to this, Thor had no romantic interest in, like, you read the previous issues, there is no romantic interest in the Enchantress. Here, the Enchantress is his lover for reasons, and like. After, of course, he's brought to Earth. He meets Jake also. I have your memories. We're basically the same person. Like, now I'm taking my power back, beat the bad guy, Thor Girl gets revived, and that's it. This is basically the set of a new status quo for Thor. We also lead to something that basically is next volume, where this cult of Thor pops up in Norway of all places. Yes, Norway. And this is kind of the status quo for Thor for pretty much the rest of this run, up until the end of the volume with issue 85. By the way, I give this book roughly a 9 out of 10. It's a pretty good book. Nothing bad here per se. And also, no more annuals. Yep, now another annual until 8 years later, like I mentioned in my last video. Now, you think with this one, like, oh, I got age 50 because the book has got 85 issues. Like, oh, I got 45, I got like 35 left. Nope. That is completely untrue. I now have a whopping 21 issues left to go for the whole series to review. Yep, 21. And that's it. Yep, moving on to... By the way, I'm getting the book roughly now. Next, move on to Iron Man. From Volume 2. There's no trade here. Yeah, this refers to 2 in a row discussing just individual issues, and then another trade, and then basically a couple will do individual issues. And that'll be pretty much it for this whole series to talk about for Iron Man. Now, I'm not talking about 2009, I'll talk about next time I come to the series. We're here discussing issues 33 to 40. Now, 33 and 35, these are the last 3 issues done by Joe Quesada, with Frank Tieri as his co-writer. Frank Tieri will take over as the main writer for the book with issue 37, and remain that way into issue 49. He would even do the 2001 annual. And I figured, though, reviewing that point would make perfect sense. Yeah, it's interesting, though. Joe Quesada is like he's here for 10 issues and he leaves. And does 1 annual. I'm like, really? Yeah, as far as I can tell, I don't know what was the reason for this. Yeah, and by the way, the artwork of these issues is done by Athena Martinez. Mostly put in the case of issues. Iron Man is dating, once again, Rimiko again. And, of course, she comes much more prevalent in these issues, per se. Yes, because Kurt Busiek may have created her, but it's almost like basically like this is a character that I think Kurt Busiek didn't know what to do with. Because if you look at it, like, she didn't appear that much when Kurt Busiek was in the book. She appeared in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 25 issues. Phew! Thank you. Oh, man, shivers. Sorry about that. Yep. Yeah. Now, there's also a mini-series that came out at the same period of time as these issues. Yes. I will discuss those in the next review. Don't worry about that. And these are critically important issues. Yeah. So, by the way, Rimiko is only here for the first couple issues. Yeah, and she acts like an antagonist of the story. We also have his character called Maximus Power, who's only here for 3 issues. No, seriously. 35, I'm skipping over this issue because, well, it's a tie-in to Maximum Security. Excuse me. It's weird that for Kasa's last issue for the series, and it's a tie-in to an event. Yep. And then right after that, we have a fill-in issue. Yes, a fill-in issue done by a writer, which this was his sole contribution to the entire series of this character. Age 36 is done by Chuck Dixon. And you're thinking, really? As in the guy who's basically famous for writing Batman books? Yep. He wrote an issue of Iron Man. 1 issue. Yeah, this is his one and only issue he ever wrote for the character. Yes. Of course, he got his appearance here with Nick Fury and Joseph Stilwell. We have a Hydra character who appears with 1 issue, and that's it. Yeah. And then pretty much with issue 37, that is actually the end of the issue released in the year 2000. Obviously. Mostly put, we also have appearance here by Tiberius Stone. Yeah, this actually was his debut appearance. If you're curious, who is Tiberius Stone, you might ask? Oh boy, about this guy. This guy is Spider-Man 2099's grandfather. Yep, and this, I thought he appeared in the first issue of this run. Oh no. Apparently his first appearance was in issue 37. He was... You think, wait, yeah, he's a Frank Terry character. Yeah, he appeared just in these issues. These 4 issues. Appears in a one-off issue. Appears in the annual. Appears in a couple issues of Iron Man. A couple issues of Hercules. And then, for some reason, Dan Slott decided to bring back this character as sort of a supporting character in Spider-Man. Yep. He was there for a certain period of time. Let go. Came back for Spider-Man. Was there for the rest of that particular series. Got moved over to 2099 for the second, a little bit of the second volume and some of the third volume. And that's basically been it for him. His last appearance was in the final release issue for the Spider-Man 2099 ongoing series, released by Peter David. Back in 2017. Yeah. Yeah, that was like 6 years ago. Yep. Yeah, for some reason, that's basically the last time we see him. Yeah, and mostly put, basically, we also have appearance by his bodyguard, Chen Lu, who just happens to be old Iron Man bad guy, the Radioactive Man. And his last appearance was back in the opening issue of Thunderbolts. Yep. It is quite interesting, though. That was his most recent appearance. Now, basically, Remote Control. That begins a story arc involving well, Iron Man's suits being turned against them. Yeah. Yeah, and basically in a way, this would be the first appearance of Deuce in Development. Well, it will change his name with issue 45, different name, but yeah. The guy in charge of the company, Trevor Duhan, which I believe basically he at one point tried to kidnap, I think it was Remiko, I think it was, and they let her go. Yeah, he's not around very long. He basically comes back in these two issues. In 38 39, he's sadly just, they get rid of him. Yeah, the story itself was wrapped up by issue 40. It is interesting though, it's like basically like Frank Terry just tried to create a brand new bad guy for Iron Man to fight for a story arc. Which, that kind of worked, yes. But sadly put, basically his next appearance would not be in Iron Man. Well, after this, you appear for one more issue, an annual pop-up issue of Wolverine of all places. Return Iron Man for a couple issues, and yeah, after those two appearances, by a different writer mostly, he never fights Iron Man ever again. So he fights Iron Man only for 3 more times after this, and that's it. Pretty interesting set of issues. Now, you might be curious to hear about who's the artist in these issues. Now, Frank Terry, excuse me, like I mentioned, he took over at issue 37. When Joe Quesada's in the book, it's Paul Ryan who does issue 34. The Maximum Security issue is done by the same artist this issue, Athena Martinez. 36, the solo issue done by Chuck Dixon. Paul Ryan returns the book. Paul Ryan is he's one of the artists for this run. Not the entire run per se, just one of the artists. Because mostly put the artist notorious famous for this run is Sean Chen. Yeah. Excuse me. Though in the case of Paul Ryan, 39 is sadly be his last issue he does for the book. And this is also really sad, his second to last comic could ever withdraw from Marvel. Because he also do one issue of Fantastic Four World's Greatest Comic Magazine. And then he would leave the company. Yep. 37 is done by Athena Martinez. Okay, what about issue 40? 40 is done by several artists. Athena Martinez, Mike Wintergall, Adam Berlula, Jeremy Jr., Bob Layton, Eric Scherner, and Karen Grant. Because it's a conclusion to a story arc. So they basically bring a whole bunch of artists. Yeah. Yeah, my opinion of these issues, I give basically the Quesada issues, I give those a 9. The Chuck Dixon issue, that was interesting, I'll give it a 9. And the Remote Control issues, give that a 9 as well. It's a shame these issues were not in trade. I do not know the reason why. You would think a book called Iron by Joe Quesada, they would include his last 3 issues he did for the book. But no! They chose not to do that for some reason. Instead, they just stop at 32. Which, really? Yes, really. Also, there's one point Iron Man gets jealous. Actually, gets jealous of this guy who's like, "Oh, you're dating my girlfriend," and she's like, "Now we broke up." Yeah, this would be on our relationship that would spread throughout these later issues for Iron Man. Yep. So yeah, that's a particular view. Next up is one more comic corner, and it's on to, well, Jujutsu Kaisen. Yep. Next view. Bye.